I've been thinking for a while that I should start just doing somewhere between a 2 to 5 minute something at least once a week, because at least once a week I wind up getting into some kind of conversation with somebody about a relatively important issue, a current event, and there's really no reason not to share it. One thing that would prevent me from doing so, like if you saw the last video I did, it was, the artistic one regarding this insane COVID-19 fraud. It required a lot of effort, time, energy, money, and all kinds of stuff to put it together, and I kind of like to do stuff like that, but unfortunately, if that's the standard, then you just end up producing a lot less content. So why not just periodically do something really silly and simple like this? I'm just going to read what I wrote to a buddy of mine regarding this cancel culture, social justice warrior, Antifa stuff. Because I think there's some insight that's missing, surprise, surprise, from most of what you see on the news. So anyway, that's all I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to read it, and if you think it's useful and you think something like this, 5 minutes every now and then on just a simple topic like this, not necessarily a simple topic, but a simple summary of something like this would be useful, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do it more often. So here we go. I'm writing this to a buddy of mine. Brett Weinstein did a good job of describing how this insane cancel culture, Antifa, SJ warrior movement is basically punking people into joining their cause. It's based entirely on intimidation. So I got to clarify, this isn't exactly what Weinstein said. I've added some of my own observations, but this is the basic idea. First, they're in charge of defining you as a racist or a Nazi or a homophobe or whatever, the pejorative is that they want to label you with, based on literally any criteria that they choose. For example, you are a racist based on nothing more than the color of your skin. Here's an important piece to this puzzle here. This really upsets people who derive their identity from the opinion of others, especially when they've spent their lives condemning racists, Nazis, and homophobes. It's kind of like having somebody accuse you of being a witch when you know that witches can be burned at the stake and you've condoned those burnings in the past. Additionally, they can prove that you're a racist, Nazi, homophobe based on the fact that you point out you're not any of these things, or if you simply refuse to state the correct position on their movement publicly somewhere. Either of these is considered an act of violence that deserves a violent reaction. So in the end, it works something like this. 1. You are whatever they say you are. If you don't repent and join them, you deserve to be burned at the stake. 2. If you disagree with their assertions, you are what they say you are, and you deserve to be burned at the stake. 3. If you remain silent, you are what they say you are, and you deserve to be burned at the stake. So here's another piece to this that I've seen multiple times, and if you think about it, think of some of these memes, like that there's a couple of white women that are just like screaming and they look completely insane, all right? So here's something else that I wanted to add. When I look at the so-called rage and some of these people that are out marching for this shit, I added shit just now, I apologize, I don't see rage at all. I literally see people who've been driven insane with fear. They're terrified of being labeled what they hate and equally terrified of being rightfully attacked. This is yet another exploitable weakness in the human operating system, and as usual, it's based on fear. So, hopefully this was worth listening to, and if you have any comments, I'd be interested in hearing them. Hopefully I won't rile or rustle any feathers with this, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised if I do.